I'm going to open my water now so it doesn't happen on mic.
Right.
This is really fun.
It was like just fun.
I was just like, wow, this is a lot of fun.
Fun. We're in a conference room in a professional setting.
Yeah, there's a map of the world and a Canadian flag.
This is legit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dainty Productions Inc.
Yeah.
It was super fun. Sounded great. This is Most Fun Podcast, where we hang out with cool animation artists and chat about the surprising ways they stay creatively motivated by finding the fun in their work and in their life.
I'm Spencer, the bearded wonder.
And I'm Tabitha Fisher, the Queen of Hunger.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
We're professional podcasters now.
That's right. We're YouTubers and everything.
How are we YouTubers?
Because podcast. Because social media. We're going to hear from animator Chris Dainty today, which I'm very excited. We had such fun with Chris Dainty hanging out at his studio, Dainty Productions in Ottawa. Before we introduce Chris, we both listened to the episode and put down some thoughts about that. So neither of us know what the other person wrote. What did you think about our chat with Chris?
The main takeaway I had was the part about going direct to consumer.
Mm-hmm.
This interview was recorded all the way back in February of 2025, I think, right?
Yep.
And so since then, we've had a whole year to keep kind of discussing and thinking about the things we talk about here. And then the animation festival, which is often a sort of meeting of the minds and where people talk about what's going on. And I think everything that we were talking about then, kind of everyone's gotten on that page.
Yeah,
now.
so between February and then fall, September of that year at the Ottawa Animation Festival, it's like everybody's like, yeah, for sure, this is totally the way we're trending.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything's about the indie creator now.
Exactly. And every conversation I was having, regardless of people at bigger studios or just independent artists, kind of everyone's on that wavelength now.
Yeah, and people get it, which
Yeah.
is really good. So the takeaway that I had was just as he's reflecting on making his film Shannon Amen with the NFB, just that feeling of being in the middle of making something and realizing that you're at your creative pinnacle, that really stuck with me because I think that once you go through that experience, it's like you then your life mission switches over and you're like gonna just try to find all the other ways you can get that feeling back throughout the rest of your life, which is really, it's exciting, but also a little bit scary, but I think mostly exciting. I think it just speaks to how important it is to get in tune with what you want to do and not just always do service work for other people, because that becomes the fuel for yourself creatively.
Yeah, there's almost like a wistfulness to discovering that thing that you really want to do because you realize, now I have to organize my life around
That's right.
repeating this
Yeah.
feeling as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And like, can I do that? How much can I do that? And like, it's like having an amazing meal or discovering this amazing new food in another country.
Right.
And you're like, it's almost like depressing that it's so good because you're like, this can't be something I eat regularly.
Oh.
I have to travel for that.
Oh,
or
yeah.
I'm going to try to find it back at home and it's not going to be the same.
Unless you live in Toronto. All the meals are here.
Yeah, that's true. I have a great new restaurant recommendation.
Oh, yeah?
Momo Mojo.
Okay.
So good.
Where's this?
It's on Dundas,
Okay.
in the Junction.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. It's Nepali food.
Yeah.
The vegetable chili momos, divine.
So Momo Chili Mojo is to you what Ice-Nation is to Chris Dainty. So
exactly.
So we're very excited to hear all about how hungry Ice Animation makes Chris.
I like that I include a plug for a restaurant in the intro. In 2006, Chris and Jennifer Dainty founded their independent animation studio, Dainty Productions, based in Ottawa, Ontario. With a foundation in hand-drawn animation and a focus on digital 2D production, their work spans educational and children's media, broadcast animation, interactive games, apps, and custom digital experiences. As a boutique studio, they remain nimble and adaptable to the rapidly changing animation industry as they continue to develop original IP while also working on commissioned projects.
I think being a smaller company, you have to be versatile. So one of the things that's helped me is when I've reached out to people, I'll give them a different PDF depending on,
Right.
because I don't put a lot of the stuff on my website. I don't share a lot, but I do when I'm working with different clients where I have
Okay.
like a PDF that's like, here's all our digital stuff.
Right.
Here's all our interactive stuff that
So
we've
for the
done.
website then, which we'll think of that as like if a stranger's just looking you up and that's their entry point, what are you hoping they're like gonna walk away thinking? Do you want them to go, oh wow, they do all sorts of stuff? Is that the impression you want to give, or is there anything more specific that you're trying to advertise about what you do?
I think it's character animation
Yeah,
is kind
okay.
of one of the things that I hope people get from it, of just like, oh, they can animate. And I think
Mhm.
on a branding side, I've been very fortunate that I've had a lot of repeat clients that I haven't had to like explain what I'm doing. And
Right.
I think that's one of the things that's helped me kind of continue in this industry, is just having clients that keep on coming back. And that's
Right. Yeah.
I feel fortunate in that sense. But I look at my website right now and it's just like, I really need to update it. Like,
Right. It's
there's
a never-ending
yeah.
feeling.
Like, I think the demo reel that's up there is like quite old.
Mhm.
And I think kind of future plans I want to show more variety in the work. Like right now, my demo reel is very short, but it's also it is still more cartoony. And I think it's working for what I'm trying to do right now. But I do plan to add more stuff to it. And I think sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
And I don't put everything up there, but I have it at easy access to send to people if it's like, oh, you want to see some interactive games I've made? Check this out, or I can send
Yeah.
some stuff easily. And I think that's, as an artist putting out a new portfolio for they're applying for a new job, you're always going to try and customize it a little bit and work on that sales
Totally.
just a little bit for that client, because at the end of the day, you want to present yourself to I can solve your problem and this is the solution. And this is the background of what I've done previously that will help convince you. Let's work together.
Speaking of things that you are currently interested in, you've got a couple of projects going on, but what sets Chris Dainty on fire these days?
I think direct to consumer.
Oh, interesting.
I saw a post recently on LinkedIn. Someone was like, the theme of Kids Screen was not business to business, it's business to consumer.
Was that Eric Calderon who was
I
saying
think
that?
so.
Yeah, I think I saw a post too, and I liked that.
And I was just like, yeah, I think that's why, we got into making books. I was really encouraged by that, just by seeing like real fans, people who I don't know in Europe, commenting on the books, saying positive things that their kid likes it, is really, it's like, that's the future. I
Yeah.
think the days of like, oh, this big corporation's going to invest in my idea. No, they don't want your idea. You need to go directly to the consumer. And I think that's what's exciting me in putting stuff out. It is scary because you don't know what's going to be successful. It is a risk of an investment of time and energy. But I think that's the part that's exciting, of like,
Mhm.
everyone has a level playing field. I feel like as more people realize, you got to try a lot of different things, put it out. That's why I'm into books. Exploring the world of games. That's another, like board games. That's something that's also on my radar.
Physical
Yeah.
games. Interesting.
So that's kind of, I have some ideas, working on some rough ideas for that. And also YouTube. As much as I love and hate YouTube, it is what kids are going to. It's like, oh, why do you think the TV industry is going to die? Well, I see it with my own kids. They're going to prefer to watch YouTube than anything on Disney Plus or Netflix. And it's terrifying. I give my kids these options of like, hey, here's some great content. You want to watch it? And sometimes they do. My son loves Pinky Malinky.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's Pinky Malinky or watching Brixie build Lego,
Yeah.
he might pick Brixie doing Lego. So there is that, you have to kind of listen to the consumer a little bit.
Mhm.
As much as I want them to love animation, and I think it's just different forms. I think everything's going through a transition right now. It's a scary, but also an interesting time. So it's good to be small.
Yeah. Lets you be nimble and take advantage of those opportunities to innovate.
Yeah.
And so with the books, any of those books you put out have a potential animation avenue, or are some of them just going to just be books and that's a kind of a side part of the Dainty Productions?
No, they all are going to have an animation
That's
component.
all. Okay, cool.
And I think that's by design,
Yeah.
because it is something that just does show proof of concept of like, oh, here's a product that people are buying. This is kind of, I think, the way forward. You've been hearing that forever of like, oh, it's not just a TV show. It's also consumer products. It is stories. How can you expand that? For me, it's always been, well, I want to make these books, but I also see these books being animated. Trying to see what consumers, if it picks up,
Mhm.
and if not, then continue with other books.
Yeah.
So it is something that I think the consumers will let me know if they like it or not.
Mhm.
There is randomness to it. If the right people tweet about it, you get enough reviews.
Totally. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of headaches, but at the same time, it's really encouraging because you can update it right away. And I think that's one of the greatest things about. So I use Amazon KDP. The first version of Goose and Cloud, the book, we put it out there and we had a typo. We sold like 10 books. It was just like, oh no. But we were able to update it right away. And then,
that's cool.
So I apologize for anyone who got the first 10 books. There is a typo.
Those are going to be worth money.
Rare collectible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like there is, I think like 6 months after the book was out, we decided, oh, let's put a little spot where kids can write their name at the beginning and put a nice pattern there. So that was like an addition where it's just we've improved the book. We can change things on the fly.
Right.
And that's been really exciting to be able to do that, because now I feel a lot more confident of the books of like if I did do a mass order, and it would be, because that's the other thing, it's like you can order a lot and then just sell them through Amazon. So it is, I think it's the greatest time for creators to put their own stuff out there and let the market decide if it's worth buying.
As if the variety of styles, methods, and mediums that Dainty Productions explores in their work wasn't enough, Chris is also an ice sculptor. He works with the Canadian Ice Carver Society and frequently competes in Ottawa's Winterlude Festival. Bringing together his two loves, he invented an animation technique that combines ice sculptures with stop-motion animation, a method he employed to startling effect on his short film, Shannon Amen.
I call it Icemation. It's a mixture of stop-motion animation and puppetry, and with large-scale ice sculptures. And the first test of it was really for the Ottawa Animation Festival sponsorship reel. And we did a deer that walked. And that was kind of the proof of concept, because when I first got into ice carving, I always thought, I was just like, I could animate this. I don't know how, but I want to animate this. And so it was always something that I've always been really into stop motion animation. When I was like a kid, I started doing stop motion animation. So it was something that I was familiar with, but I hadn't really done it professionally. So the Animation Festival sponsorship reel was kind of the first test. And then after that, I thought, like when I pitched it to the NFB, I was just like, yeah, we can make these full scale human characters walk and move. And I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I was just, blind confidence. I think that's hot tip. Just have blind confidence
Absolutely.
that you can do it. And it was like, it was a great exploration. And I think the only way I could have done it is with an organization like the NFB that was willing to take risks, because I didn't know exactly how I was going to do it, but they afforded me the time to explore that and try and fail. We threw out a lot of ice animation that didn't make the cut. You know, we did a lot of different tests to start off. We tried to do the ice thinner. I tried to sculpt into the ice and not actually cut it out. And then we realized it's like, actually, no, the ice will look best on location in the physical space. So we rented out St. Bridget's Cathedral. And that was really kind of the aha moment of like, okay, that's what it needs to look like. And once we did that, I was just like, okay, I kind of know how to do it. We practiced with paper. So practicing we use Dragon Frame software and motion capture.
Like a camera rig that,
Yes,
yeah.
a camera rig that would like slowly move. So it's like, there was a lot of like practice to kind of make sure it worked.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a while to get there. And
literally do a dry run.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I remember the second time we did a shoot, it was just like, you have to get everything in this.
There's a ticking clock. Yeah.
24 hour. And I stayed up for 24 hours
Wow.
working on it. And I questioned my sanity.
Right.
I thought this is literal insanity. Like everything that could go wrong did go wrong at some point. Hands broke off, heads broke off.
Fingers, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Snapping.
And also the method you're using to sculpt. I think I've seen a video of you sculpting before. Is there a chainsaw involved?
Chainsaw,
Right.
yeah.
I'm scared about what went wrong with the chainsaw.
And chainsaw in a church. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, it's, the chainsaw's my paintbrush.
Yeah.
And I really do enjoy it. I think the NFB experience, I learned a lot from it. I know what I'd do differently. I still want to do more ice animation, but it is really expensive to do, so it is hard to find someone that's willing to do it. So I do hope to do more ice animation in the future, but it is kind of crazy.
Right.
But good crazy. I think that's you have to be willing to try things to see what's different. And I think the other thing that I found was some people were like, was that 3D animation? I was like, no, I sculpted that. I'm like,
Today's version of that is like, is that AI? It's like, no, I actually took that picture. No, I actually painted that.
Yeah.
I have a technical question about the ice stuff. Was it purely that each frame, each position of it was a unique ice sculpture each time, or were there modular elements to it at all where you were Frankensteining parts together?
Yeah, great question. So some of it was like, there's one scene where the character falls out of a church pew.
Yeah.
And that was quite a lot of sculptures. And I tried to reuse as much as I could, but a lot of it just had to be new sculptures, which was very time consuming. And also, I was just like, this is, you're spending 3 to 4 hours on a sculpture that's going to last very quick.
Yeah.
So the other one was doing a walk cycle.
Yeah.
So there was, I think, 6 versions of the feet in different positions, and then we just swapped them out and then just looped them.
Right.
And then there was a few other ones where, like one of them where she's writing in a notebook, and I just literally puppeted the hand. So that was just kind of like, okay,
You just moved it off screen. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and
Stop motion. Or
a little bit of both.
Right, okay.
So it wasn't full video, but it was, we had altered the frames and
right. You moved around, then maybe played with it in editing.
Yeah.
This is like I don't know how you would do this. Are you sculpting anything on the day, or have you sculpted everything and then you're like put it in a freezer and transport it in some refrigerated thing and bring them in one by one? Which is it?
Yeah, so we sculpted most of the things prior.
Oh yeah.
And then we just had to fix up things. So everything was sculpted before. Then we rented a freezer truck, put it in there, and then drove from close to near the airport to downtown, which was terrifying.
Right.
And it jostles and they all fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they're probably strapped down or something, right?
Strapped down. One head broke off during on the way
trip,
there, and it was just very stressful. But I was happy once it was out.
Yeah.
I think that was I definitely questioned my sanity. But it was part of there was something really special about doing the physicality of it, even though it all melted away. There was something about being in a location that was, and with water. I think that's the other thing that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Right.
is like it was, yeah, just different.
One thing I want to ask you is, of all the things you do, what, Chris Dainty,
Is
most
fun.
Doing Shannon Amen with the NFB was like the most fun, which was wonderful and terrible at the exact same time, in the sense that I was just like, oh, wow, this is really, really fun.
When you were in the moment,
Yeah.
were you aware that this was like the pinnacle so far? Because like I'm wondering, because I'm equating it to the film that Spencer and I did, and when I was in it, I was very like aware. I was like, this is the peak of like my creative life. So does that resonate with you, that idea?
Yeah, 100%. I think like it was like most of it was torture.
Right. Relate, hardcore, 100%.
Yeah. So like, but it's the end part. I think that was the part where it's like doing the sound, doing the final color, all those like the final little edits. That was like, I was just like, wow, this is a lot of fun.
Right.
It's gonna suck not doing this. After, and I think that's the filmmaking process is just it's a lot of, you know, there's moments of like, and I also felt, because it was when I was doing the final edit stuff, it was the last time that they were doing it at the historic NFB building.
Yes, the old building from the...
So it was just like, oh, this is like one of the last productions to be in this building where all this history happened. So for me, as like a, you know, someone who loves the animation history side, it was just like really special to be like, oh, like, you know, we're doing this mixing where so many other people did this before me. Being in that building was really special. So I did a lot of filming in there.
Right. Did you run around with the camera and just like try to document everything?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I got 360 videos that have not been released.
Yeah.
That will be released one day.
Yeah. Well, in the Stop-Mo, one of the Stop-Mo studios, when last time I was at that building, which was a while ago, like when I was visiting a friend around the time where they were wrapping it up, there was on the ceiling in the Stop-Mo room was a character from one of the Hot House shorts called Git Gob, which was Philip Edel's film. And somebody, maybe it was him, I don't know who, like tossed it up and it's like sticky. And it's like on the ceiling is like still was there like 10 years later that I came back. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So it's just all these like weird little like hidden, like almost like a little signature that people left in that building from when they were there.
Yeah. So it's, I think that was really special of like having that time there, like staying like late nights, and they literally had to order you air, because they turn off the air in certain parts of the building.
Oh my goodness. Because it's, to explain, this is a massive industrial, like 70s or 1950s, like almost like a factory building, cordoned off, surrounded by many, many lanes of highway.
Yes. It was, so yeah, that was a wonderful experience. And also like being in the theater doing sound was also a really special experience, where I was just like, wow, this is really unique. I would love to do this all the time. Oh no, I want to do this all the time.
Head over to daintyproductions.com to learn more about Chris's work. You can also follow Chris on Instagram at Dainty Productions.
And you can visit the Patreon for the full show notes, where you'll find links to watch Shannon Amen and see some of the behind the scenes, like a bunch of guys loading honkin' ice sculptures into massive refrigerated trucks that Chris was talking about on the pod.
Also on our Patreon, you'll find bonus episodes. We usually talk to our guests for about an hour, sometimes more. Not everything makes it into the episode, but if you're interested in hearing more from our guests on a variety of topics, go check it out. But since it's the holidays, you can get the Dainty bonus episode for free. And he comes bearing gifts.
One piece, my favorite piece of my animation collection, I recently purchased at an auction.
Ooh.
Yeah, which I didn't think I would win, because I was just like, I'm gonna go for this auction.
Okay.
And and then I won the piece because I'd been bidding on a bunch of things.
Yeah.
It always went too high, and I would not wasn't going to invest.
You didn't want it that badly.
Yeah, but this one piece came up, and I was sitting there at McDonald's with Jen, and I was like, "Let's bid on this." She's like, "No," and I was like, "Come on." She's like, "All right." So we
Jen, ever the voice of reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay, bid on it." And I bid on it, and then I'm sitting there in McDonald's, and I won the option. And I was just like, "Oh my goodness!" So it was very exciting, and has a little piece of history.
Okay, all right. I've built up enough anticipation. I need to see what
I'm
this
ready.
is. Yeah.
Chris loves animation and the history of animation. He's collected a lot of really cool stuff, so I'm excited for you to see what he shows us.
All right, now it's time for listener mail. All right, let me just open this beautiful handwritten letter. This one comes to us from A Fish, and he asks, favorite sandwich? Club.
Wow, that's concise.
Yep. Club
Yeah.
sandwich. Classic.
Really? So you know what? I didn't know that about you. Really? Favorite sandwich? Club sandwich?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say hamburger?
Are we doing the hamburger as a sandwich thing?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes.
I'm not qualified to wade into this debate.
Okay. Well, maybe that's for a different podcast.
But I do feel club sandwich and hamburger are both menu testers. So like at a place where they like have a bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's like to know what are we dealing with here? Try their burger or try their club sandwich, and it's a good like barometer
Right.
of how good they are.
And the barometer to determine if you're going to get food poisoning is check out the washroom.
Before you do anything, how clean is the washroom?
Yeah, because how clean is the washroom is how clean are their hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I have a question.
You, Tabitha?
No,
Oh,
that
you-
came in by mail.
Okay.
To my very
It'd be
home.
sad if we were writing our own fan mail. That'd be really sad.
Which we absolutely aren't. But I have one from an anonymous animation student who wants to know. Everyone is always screaming on Animation LinkedIn. Is that what the industry is like?
Pretty much. It's an excellent reflection of where we're at.
That's right. Just people screaming and sending AI slop to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like in the studio.
Yeah.
So absolutely accurate.
You're fully if you've been on Animation LinkedIn, you're ready to join the industry.
Yeah, that's right.
You know everything you need to know.
Studio owners positioning themselves as AI experts with zero qualification. However, my top tip for young people or any people on LinkedIn is inside thoughts. And we'll leave it at that.
Oh, so LinkedIn is where I put all my inside thoughts.
No.
Got it.
No. Whenever you have the impulse to share, say no. Not sharing is caring for oneself.
Yeah, share with your friends.
Yeah, share with your friends in person.
Yeah.
Less internet, I think, unless you're
good.
streaming the podcast. Our next guest will be Dennis Moran, who I'm super excited about. We had so much fun with Dennis.
That's a great episode.
Sitting on your living room floor. We had professional gear, but not a professional table. So we sat on little pillows in your living room with Dennis.
But it gives it a cozy little hangout vibe.
It does. It feels very cozy. So Dennis is a super talented effects artist who is currently working on X-Men, dream show to work on. Dennis also has synesthesia, and the way that he experiences colors and shapes and numbers informs his artistic practice, which is so cool. He breaks it down for us, and it's super interesting. You won't want to miss it. Most Fun Podcast is a Most Fun Studio production and a member of the Podcaver Network. This episode was edited by Spencer Moreland, with production assistance from Tong La, and was produced by me, Tabitha Fisher, and Spencer Moreland. Our theme music is by Jazzy Spencer Moreland.
Season 1 of Most Fun Podcast was produced with financial assistance from ASIFA Hollywood's Animation Educators Forum Faculty Grants Program. The views expressed in this podcast are those of the speakers and are not affiliated with any institutions, organizations, or employers, including Sheridan College. Thank you for listening to the Most Fun Podcast, and join us next time. for even more fun.